Hello students, welcome back to the video series of Python programming. I am your instructor Shweta Yagnik, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. So in today's session, we are going to cover what is recursive function. Then we are going to see lambda function, also called as anonymous function. Then we are going to explore what are the usage of this lambda function into filter function, map function and reduce function. So without wasting much time, let's begin with our first topic. Recursive function is the function where function will make a call to itself in order to accomplish some task. Normally what happens, one function will call another function to accomplish a subtask, but here function will make a call to itself. It's called a recursive function. So we are going to see practically how this recursive function can be defined. So here I am having one function called greet, okay, colon, then I am printing hello, and that's it for now, and I am making a call to this function. So how many times this print hello is going to be executed? Only once, right? Because here we have made a call to that function only once. Now let us change it a little bit so that it will execute multiple times. So here what I am doing, I am making call to that function again. So after printing this line, it will execute this line. That means control goes back to the first line, that is definition, okay, and it is going to execute the function again. Okay, let's execute and see how many times it is going to execute. Okay, is there any guess how many times this hello will get printed? Okay, we don't have here any termination condition, so it will be executed multiple times, or we can say infinite times. So here we go and we execute the program. So see, after printing n number of times, it is going to give me this runtime error, maximum recursion depth exceeded. In Python, it is not infinite time that is going to execute because of the because Python is memory efficient, so it will take care that memory will not goes off, right? So that is the reason it will not be executed infinite time, and Python is having by default 1000 time this recursion will occur. So here, if we are curious enough to understand how many times this recursion has occurred, then we can print I. And here I have to use global I because I want to access global variable, and here I'll be incrementing it by 1, I equal to I plus 1. Okay, so how many times this hello will get executed will be displayed on output. So here we go again and we'll see. So you can observe here, after 998, okay, it has started giving this error message. Okay, so near to 1000 it will not give any error, it will execute. Define a factorial of a number and recursive version. Okay, so what is factorial of a number? If I want to have factorial of 5, I may write it like this: 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. Fine. So if I have factorial of 4, then this much is factorial of 4, right? And if I want factorial of 5, then I just need to multiply 5 with factorial of 4. In order to get the factorial of 4, I will multiply 4 with the factorial of 3 and onwards. So the basic idea is that if I want to have a factorial of n, then I need to calculate factorial of n minus 1. Okay, this is what the understanding based on which we are going to define a function for factorial. So here we are having define recursive factorial n. Here I am going to write a termination condition from where, so that it will not go into infinite loop. Fine. So if n equal to 1, I am going to return 1 because factorial of 1 is 1. Okay, else I am going to return, if I want factorial of n, then I am going to call the same function, that is recursive factorial, and I will ask that function to calculate the factorial of n minus 1 for me and return it back to me. So this is the idea. Okay, now we'll make a call to this function, that is n, or rather answer is equal to recursive factorial, and I'm going to pass here value 5. And this is the print statement where I'll be getting all the answers. So let's try to execute and get the answer. So factorial of 5 is 120. We may change the value and experiment with it. So what are the advantages of using this recursive version? Recursive functions make the code look clean and elegant. A complex task can be broken down into simpler sub-problems using recursion. Sequence generation is easier with recursion than using some nested iteration. Now, some disadvantages of recursion. Sometimes the logic behind recursion is hard. Okay, recursive calls are expensive. Okay, as they take up a lot of time and memory because internally they are going to use stack. Recursive functions are hard to debug. So these are the advantages as well as disadvantages of recursive function. So as per your need and your constraints, you may decide whether a specific task is to be accomplished using recursive way or non-recursive way. So our next topic is lambda or anonymous function. Okay, what is this? What is this topic is all about? In a Python, a function without name is called anonymous function. It can be defined using lambda keyword. Okay, so if I don't want to give a name to the function, okay, then I may use anonymous function. Okay, let's see how to use it. Function called square. Whatever number I pass, whatever variable I pass, I want square of that function. So for that, I'll be writing square and argument, let's say x. Okay, then I'm going to write return x multiplied by x. That's it. And sorry, now I am going to call that function. So print, or rather I'll be writing result equal to square and 5, and I'll be printing that result. Okay, it's perfectly fine. Now here see, here we have a function called square. It is of only single expression. Okay, if the function is so small, if you are going to use that function just once, then there is no meaning to waste this keyword define, waste this name square, and waste this keyword return. So here you are having single expression function, and that you are going to use only once. So it is better not to define a function but use anonymous function. So we will see how to define lambda function or anonymous. So here I am going to clean this code and let's define a lambda function. Okay, in order to define a lambda function, I'll be using the keyword lambda. Okay, and this argument is x, and with that argument what kind of operation you want to perform. So here my argument is x and I am going to make a square of it, that means x multiplied by x. Now this is the function. Okay, and functions are object. You need to assign this object to something, that is f. So here f is a function. Okay, so how we are going to call that function? That result is equal to f and whatever argument you want to pass, that is square of 5. If you want, you can do it like this, and here I'll be having print and result. So let's see, let's execute and see the result. So here, yes, 25. So this is how you can use lambda function. So now let us define one more lambda function called f1. Okay, and that function we will write such that it will give a summation of two numbers. So lambda, again I am using, and this time I'll be using x comma y because I want summation of two numbers, these two arguments, and the operation that I want is x plus y. Fine. So here I'll be storing result 1 is equal to f1, and now I'll be passing two values, that is 2 comma 3. So in this I'll be just printing result 1, and let's see what will be the value. So here, okay, I made some mistake. Yes, over here I have deleted this x value, saved it and re-executed. So yes, 3 plus 2 is 5, and first is answer of first lambda function, that is x multiplied by x. So lambda function, we can pass any number of argument, but function should have only single expression, right? So this is again square, and the second example that returns a bigger number. Maximum is a function lambda x comma y, these are two arguments. It will return x if x is greater than y, else y. Okay, so this is a single expression. It will return either x or y based on the condition. Fine. So this lambda function can be used along with filter, map and reduce, these functions. So now we are going to see what is filter function. It filters the given sequence with the help of function that test each and every element of the sequence to be true or false. So if you are having big sequence and if you want to filter out some of the elements based on some condition, then filter inbuilt function can be used. So now the syntax of filter, that first argument is a function, okay, that will perform operation, and this is the sequence. Okay, so this function will apply some operation on this sequence. The function that tests if each and element sequence is true or false, and sequence needs to be filtered. Let's see one example in order to understand this filter function. So here we are having a filter function where it will apply fun function on a sequence, and if that function returns true, that character or that element of the sequence will be included, otherwise it will not be included. That means we will be doing filtration operation. So here let's see fun function. Definition of the function is here. Here we are having one list called AEIOU vowels, and if the variable, that is this a variable which is passed from here, fine, and if the variable is within this list, that is AEIOU, then it will return true, else it will return false. So here in sequence G is not within AEIOU, so that is why it is going to return false. Now next letter is E. It is within this E variable is within this letters, that is AEIOU, that's why it will return true. So E is going to be part of this sequence, okay, new sequence, that is it will be filtered, okay, it will be part of the sequence. Next is again E, again it will be part of sequence, okay. Next is J, will not be included, K will not be included, S, P and R will not be included. So this is how filter process will, filter function is going to be executed. Now here we have used define a function, but we can also use a lambda function along with filter. So shortly we are going to see how to use lambda function along with filter. So let's define a filter function. Suppose if I am having a sequence called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, let's say 7 also, and I want to filter out the even elements from the sequence, okay. So I'll be having even, okay, equal to filter is the function of inbuilt function of Python. So filter will be having two parameters, okay. First is the function and second is the sequence on which it will be, that function will be applied, Okay, so now here I am having sequence, but what about the function? So here I'll be defining one function, and suppose that function is having argument n. Then what I want to do with that n, which operation I want to return if n modulo 2 equal to 0, that means it's an even number, then I will return true, right? This is what I want. So this operation will be operated on each and every element of the sequence. So let's see what will be printed in even. Okay, let's execute the code and see. Okay, I made some mistake. So return true. So here I have made a spelling mistake. Okay, let's execute the code. So 2, 4 and 6. So here I have defined the function, but if I don't want to define this function, I will use lambda function. Okay, so instead of this function, I'll be using lambda, and this is my argument. And what I want to do with that argument, x modulo 2 equal to 0. If it returns true, then that element of the sequence will be included, or if it is return false, then that element will be skipped. Okay, so let's execute the code one more time and see the output. It will result into same output. Okay, because lambda function we have used instead of defining a specific function for it. Here one thing I forgot to mention over here, filter function will return a sequence. Okay, so here you should include your list so that the sequence will be transformed into list. Okay, so just don't forget to include over here list. Okay, that's it. So that's it for filter function. So now we will see map inbuilt function of Python. It applies a function or operation to all the elements in a sequence. In a filter function, we used to filter some of the elements from the sequence. Now here we want to apply some specific operation on each and every element of the sequence. So this function will apply the operation on each and every element. That's the difference between filter and map. So syntax of a map, here also it will accept two arguments. First is a function and second is a sequence, same as of filter. That first is function, that is an operation, and second is a sequence. The function represents a specific operation on all the elements of the sequence, and modified elements are returned which can be stored in another sequence. So here we are going to see an example. So in this example, square is a function and list is a sequence on which we want to apply this function on each and every element. So squares is a function, okay, list. So here what do you think, what will be the output? So 1 multiplied by 1, 2 multiplied by 2, that is 4, 3 multiplied by 3, that is 9, and onwards. That means this square operation will be performed on each and every element of the sequence. So I'll just modify this code, and here I'll be using map function, and here I'll be defining a function that is x, and here I want x plus 2. That means I want plus 2 in each and every sequence element. So that's it, and I am not going to change this even name, that will be fine. So let's execute the code and see. So yes, what is the output? Here you can see 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, 3 plus 2 is 5, 4 plus 2 is 6, and onwards. So here no filtration, but some same operation will be performed on each and every element of the sequence. So now next function is reduce function. it reduces a sequence of elements to a single value by processing the elements according to the function supplied. So this syntax is similar to the earlier functions, that is first argument is function and second argument is a sequence. So here in an example you can see that this is the sequence, and on that sequence we want to multiply each and every element. Okay, and here we are passing two elements because for multiplication you require two elements together. Okay, so if you have passed 3, 4, 5, it will multiply 3 and 4 first, then whatever is the output will be multiplied with the next element. Okay, this is how the multiplication will be happen. So let's define a reduce function. So here I am using one function to add up all the elements of a sequence. So this is my sequence. I am having just 3 elements of it, and I'll be storing the result into add all, suppose. And here I'll be using reduce function because I want to reduce it into a single output. Okay, that is my ultimate answer. Reduce, and the parameters it will accept is first is a function. I have yet not defined a function, and second is a sequence on which I want to perform operation on this defined sequence. So here my function will be add. Okay, so and now I am going to define that function add, and it is going to accept two arguments, that is at a time two elements will be summed up. Okay, and then the answer will be summed up with the next element. That is the idea. Okay, so these two elements will be summed up. Return x plus y. So let's execute the code and print the result add all. Okay, here I have made some again the spelling mistake. I'm going to correct it. So that's it. Yes, the answer is 6. So here I have defined explicit function, but if I want I can use lambda function as well. So instead of defining this function, let's define a lambda function. So here I am using lambda. Okay, and then these are my two parameters x and y colon. I want to do operation x plus y. Okay, so this is how my lambda function will be, and I'm going to erase this function definition and re-execute the code in order to verify. So the answer is same. So I can use a reduce function in order to reduce the sequence to a single output. So first we have learned filter. Filter is used from a long sequence. I can filter out some required elements, and from these filtered elements, from the required elements, I can perform some operation using map. Because if I am having 1000 data and I cannot apply the function to those 1000 or 10,000 or lakh data. I want to first filter out it. Okay, and with those filtered elements I want to apply some operation that I can do with map function. And after mapping, if I want to add up, or if I want to do some average, or if I want to do such kind of operation and want some single output, then lastly I may use a reduce function. So that's it for the session. We have seen today what is recursive function. Then we have seen lambda function or anonymous function. Then we have seen how to use this lambda function within filter function, map function and reduce function. I hope you have enjoyed this topic. If you are having any doubt, you can contact me or write in a comment section. I will try to get back to you very soon. See you soon in next video. Till then, happy learning.